Hello, guys. So, yeah, I just want to talk about accepting your emotions. And I think we should all be trying to, find ways of coping with our emotions like we naturally do. But at the same time, I think that sometimes you just got to accept that it's not going to be all right. And sometimes you're going to really struggle. But you have to try and figure out how you can work with your troubles and your problems, because we all have problems. And I think if you work on your emotions, try and figure out how you work with your emotions and stay true to who you are, because we all have a place here. It's just finding what works for you. There's no right or wrong way, as long as it's law abiding and you can find a way to solve your problems and build your character. And I think whatever it is, mental health or whether it's your childhood struggles, you might not realize it now, but if you're always building your character, you'll find a way of using your past to help you. Like, it might be like you've had a really hard time growing up. You might have been bullied. You might have had, family problems. That's your story. You don't have to tell everyone, but if you can relate to this, then you might have a lot of pain from that. But if you go to work on yourself, work hard on yourself, you can create the character that uses that to your advantage. Because I like to try and think of things as like vulnerabilities. So we all have vulnerabilities and we tend to feel them in our core, in our stomach. And this is where a lot of anxieties come from. Some people feel it in different places, but I tend to feel my anxieties in my stomach from time to time. So like when I'm stressed out and I'm thinking I don't want to do this, but I have to do it, whether it's, a previous work experience or whether it's day-to-day troubles or just stuff I have to face up to. And sometimes you get very vulnerable and you get stressed out, and your vulnerabilities are always going to be inside. You're aware of them. So if you're aware of your vulnerabilities, you can start to figure out how to build your character to strengthen your vulnerabilities so you can use them to your advantage. And what I found is that when I struggle with my emotions and my mental health, it was usually a vulnerability, something that was inside me that I needed to adjust, to make better, to make the feeling better, so it wasn't a negative feeling, it didn't hurt inside. And I remember one place I was working, and I used to get a bit nervous picking up the phones and stuff, and I used to really hate it because I didn't like feeling like that. And sometimes, like, when you pick up the phone and you don't know what to say and you're struggling a bit, so I said to myself, don't like this, I need to go to work on myself. And I went to work at a call center. So I went to a call center, and I used to wake up in the middle of the night and I'd have stomach cramps, and I think to myself, I don't want to wake up in the morning, I'm looking forward to the weekend. But there were some really good people there that pulled me through, and I would really hold them in high regards for a long time, and they won't be forgotten because they pulled me through some hard days. And man, I was vulnerable picking up the phone from time to time, did the job, got through with things, help people, stay true to who I was. And I never changed who I was and how I went about my day-to-day business and being with people and how to treat people and how to create a better environment from what I can control. But yeah, I decided to say, right, I've got to front up to this, I've got to go meet this where it is, and I've got to find a way to eliminate this stress within, the vulnerabilities, the demon, whatever you want to call it. You can call it whatever you want, however you relate to it, as long as it's genuine and you can help people with the way you interpret it. It doesn't matter. But yeah, and the process is, like a mentor of mine said, like Dave from the leisure centre said to me, that once, and this sticks. And he was a man about books, and I have many different mentors, and this was just a man who helped me get into my books, and I love Dave. And he said to me, the first 6 months, you're consciously incompetent. From 6 months to 12 months, you're unconsciously incompetent. From 12 months 18 months, you're consciously competent. In 2 years' time, you're unconsciously competent. So you go through different cycles. As long as you're building yourself up, reading books, working on the job, so the job can work in your favor and work on you, you will go through this cycle everywhere you go. And this is how I tend to eliminate my vulnerabilities, and it's how businessmen do it. It just works for me, and there's so much more than this, and it's a good way of looking at it. But if you can persevere and keep a journal, and you'll soon realize that when you look back in 2 years' time, that the experience isn't so bad anymore, and all the hard days become a little bit more worthwhile. And so you eliminate the demon, and that's a problem solved. So then you figure out, how can I help someone to solve my problem, to help someone? And you go on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one, you know what I mean? So you've always got to try and build your character up. And sometimes, I know sometimes you need specialist help and you have limitations. Sometimes you just have to go to work on the character to create that better character within. And when you create the better character within, and you're aware of your problem and how you need to solve your problem, then that is on the way to winning, in my eyes. On the way to being your ideal self, the person you want to be, should be. And what I try and do is work with the hierarchy of needs. Like, you might think I'm being really weird with this little pyramid. We got this in Egypt on holiday once with the family, and I like to keep it, and I like to try and visualize each side, and each side has a different purpose, and it's connected with how I think. And I keep the hierarchy of needs on here. So everywhere you go, there's a hierarchy of needs, and you've got self-actualization at the top, confidence and self-esteem needs, because we all need confidence, whether you're playing football, rugby, boxing, whether you're going to school, whether you're having to get from work to a job, home to a job, whether you're having to get from home to school. We all have problems, and we have to think about what we need to do to solve these problems. And we have relationship needs, because all the people we come across, we have a way of building relationships. And some people need your help, don't deserve your help, but that's for you to figure out. And then you've got safety needs, because we all need to put a roof over our head. We all need to work so we can have a safe environment for our families and ourselves to be in. And we have physical needs. I mean, I'm a bit out of shape at the minute, well, a lot out of shape, but at some point I will be able to come back to these needs. But it's the experiences that count, and if you've done it once, you can do it again. Build the character within, and try your best to eliminate the vulnerabilities so you don't have to struggle anymore. And you won't have to be that person who wakes up in the morning with stomach cramps or vulnerabilities saying, I don't want to get out of bed, I don't like what I'm doing. Take charge, take ownership of your day, education, work hard, be genuine, don't judge people, be your real self, and try your best. Sometimes we have bad days, sometimes we have bad weeks, and we're allowed to do that. stay positive, stay true to who you are, try your best, and keep improving yourself and building on who you are to be that better person for yourself, your family, and others you care about. Okay. Out.